Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Irvin, also known as Koboman. Welcome to another help desk training video. Let's start off with this ticket right here from Reggie. Thank you, Reggie, for submitting tickets. All right. Outlook hangs when sending email to certain continents. Oh, that's interesting. This is a strange one. A user reports when he sends email to a certain continent. For example, from US to Europe, email freezes up. And when it does, it arrives. And when it does arrive at the destination, users report the same thing. So there's delay, there's freezing going on when sending emails from US to Europe. And it says here, have you heard of such strange issue? Steps taken, steps checked. Check the mailbox size. It's less than 1 GB, which is great. Usually you have way more than 1 GB in storage of the mailbox, which is a great thing to check, right? Because you can't receive nor send new emails if you run out of inbox. And the reason is for, like, let's say your limit is 1 GB for the inbox, for your main inbox. Then if you run out of that, there is not enough space left. So of course you cannot receive email, right? And that's the main reason. This is why Reggie checked on this. And it says no add-ins or add-ons installed. So these are great things to check. If it's sending email from US to Europe, email freezes up. And when it does arrive at destination, users report the same thing. So people sending from Europe back to US, same thing happens. So the main thing that I'm thinking about is the actually Exchange server itself that's causing the problem. And for that, let me switch to the Exchange access that I do have so I can kind of show you what's going on. So here we are. This is the Exchange server, or I should say Exchange login for Microsoft 365. This is all cloud-based. It's a website. You can see it's a website. Here is the link to that. By the way, what you're looking at, these aren't real people. This is a developer version of Microsoft 365 for training purposes, right? These are not real people. There's no real information being released in regards to any of these people. So they're fictional is what I'm trying to say. And when it comes to this, it's all cloud-based. Obviously, this is hosted by Microsoft themselves, and they have email servers, Exchange servers for this specifically, located everywhere in the world. The point of it is so that there is faster access when it comes to sending and receiving emails. So this is a good thing, right? However, if you have a traditional Exchange email server set up, let's say in United States, or in the other case, let's say UK or somewhere in Europe, it doesn't matter where. But if that server is only on one side of the world, and obviously there is a delay when it comes to sending and receiving, regardless to where that one server is. Now, if you had servers spread across, if you had multiple servers spread across, just like this cloud-based version of it, it would reduce the latency of it because you would have a different Exchange server handling the email sending and receiving. And I promise you, I will show you how that looks like. We're going to do some drawing, even though I'm terrible at drawing, but I'll show you what I mean a little bit clearer. So let me just pick a random person here. Here is Johnny. And if you look at the mailbox size here, which is a maximum of 99 gigabytes, right? You can see that only 0.65 megabytes is used. So in the other case is when we look at the information that was presented here or checked by Reggie here, we can see that mailbox size is only less than 1 GB used. So there's plenty of space. This is a non-issue here. But again, let's go back to the fact that you might have an Exchange server that is only located in US and one in Europe. And I'm talking specifically about the traditional Exchange servers that used to be set up back in the day. And some people still use it, obviously. Some companies still use it, where they have the Exchange server on the premises at their location, right? That'd be their location. So let's pull up, I don't know, let me try paint here. Maybe I can draw something here that makes sense. All right. So let's say this is US right here, And here is our server box. So for mail, so exchange. It's really hard to it's really hard to write with your mouse pointer. Exchange. And I'm just gonna say it's email, right? Email. And this is what handles all of the email, right? All of this, all the email send / receive of emails is handled by this thing, right? It's handled by this thing. So if this thing is located in US only, sending email all the way to Europe is going to take some time, right? There will be a latency. So this has to account for the distance, right? Obviously the distance here. Distance, which I don't know what the distance is. It's over 1,000 miles, I'm pretty sure, depending on where you are at, right? There's the distance, so there's latency because of the distance. And the same thing when it's coming back from EU is because it has to cross that distance and then it handled by the exchange server that is located in US. And again, this could be in EU and it would be the same deal. And another issue is that this server here, we're going to have to account for resources. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is RAM and CPU. Is this thing able to handle the amount of emails that are going back and forth between these big distances, or just any emails that are being sent back and forth? So these are some things to keep in mind which could cause this type of issue when email freezes. Email would freeze up, and when it does arrive, this users report the same thing. I'm assuming people that are in Europe are also experiencing the same thing. So this would be my educated guess on this. All right. I think the issue is related to the exchange server location / distance, or lack of resources to process the email exchange on the server itself. Okay, I'm sorry, I do not have an email exchange server virtual machine to show you because I don't know, it's kind of past that time. Everything is now cloud-based, and so it should be, all right? But I do apologize for not actually able to show you a regular, classic exchange server. However, I do have other things that I'm running in the virtual machine. This is my lab. By the way, if you haven't seen my video on how to set up a lab, you can certainly do so. There is also a link. If you need a link to download the lab data, the lab setup, you can ask me in the comments. I'll send you a link. Yeah, so these are the virtual servers that I have. I have content management. We have domain controller, some clients, and etc. So we can do these type of videos. Okay, let's move on. Also, can you do me a favor? If you like this type of content, please try to watch as much as you can. I know this is asking a lot when it comes to time. Time is precious. And the only reason I'm asking, to be honest, is because I've noticed YouTube has reduced the amount of, I guess, income, right? I am basically looking at 40% less income that's coming from YouTube. And it's not the views. I have enough views, but for some reason it has gone down drastically. And at some point I'm thinking to myself, well, I have this following on YouTube, and I would hate to have to like go to some other teaching platforms like Udemy just because there would be more money there. And I refuse to do that because I have a great following on YouTube. So I guess I'm asking for this small thing, if possible, for you to watch as long as you can these videos, just so there's maybe a watch time will help the channel or something. I don't know. Anyways, I apologize for having to. I really feel awkward for having to ask that. I don't like asking for people to click like and this and that. It's just weird, leaves like a weird, as they say, like bad taste in my mouth type of stuff. But it's kind of this, I should say, discouraging, right? It's not motivating me when I see that it has dropped down so much. I'm not worried about like 10, 20%, even 30%. But man, in some cases, it's been more than 40% drop in income from ads, I should say. Okay, let's move on. So let's let's do SCCM one here. To mix it up a little bit, how do you check SCCM server health? Ensure that SCCM server is running and accessible. Verify that all required SCCM services are running on the servers. Check the server's event logs for any error message related to SCCM. So this is a little bit more advanced than something that help desk would be doing, but it's really good to know. So let's look at our content management server that we have running in the background. By the way, I have videos on SCCM specifically, and it's based off this same lab, by the way. All right. So here is our content management server. What we're looking at here is if you don't know what SCCM is, it deals with controlling of the installation of the software that is on all the computers that are connected to your domain. So all the computers within your business, within your work, all of them are controlled by SCCM, also now known as Microsoft Endpoint Manager. So what it does, basically you can have one place that controls the installation of the software for all the computers. So it's automatically controls the updates, the installation, and everything else. So here it is, it's loading. This is normal. Like even at my current job, we use SCCM and it takes a bit to load up. And let me just kind of refer back to what the question was. And it says here, can you check SCCM server health, ensure that the SCCM is running and accessible? So the way that I know it's running is because it's up and running, right? The server is running. So let's see if view that all required SCCM services are running on the server. So you just make sure that it's running in the background. I have it pulled up right now, so that's the GUI of it. But if I look at the task manager, I can see that the SCCM service is running in the background. This is just what we pulled up right now, so this is the front end of it. But if we look at the services back here, so you have to make sure that these are running in the background. Let me just minimize the GUI version of it, the front end of it. So you want these to be running in the background. You can see that they are running. It says SMS site, WSS writer, SQL backup, component manager, and the notification server, SSM executive, and agent host. These are all part of SCCM. I'm going to pick random one of these. Let's do this one here. And let's see its details. So these are services on the computer itself. So if I look for that specifically on here, what is it called again? SMS site SQL backup, right? So any of these, but this is one of the main ones here, SMS agent host. So let's scroll down here, look for it. Again, services are things that are running in the background to make sure that the server is running and providing services. In this case, it's the SCCM, right? Our content management. It's providing software installs for the computers that are connected to our network. All right. So let's just hear this SMS agent. And if I right click it, well, first of all, you can see that it's running, right? And Let me expand this here. I want to make sure that you can see everything here so that it's the clearest as possible so you get the best understanding of what I'm trying to say here. And it says here, if you hover over SMS agent host, it says provide change and configuration services for computer management systems. And it's running and it's set to start up automatically, just like some of these other ones. But if I right click, select properties, you can see that this is part of the computer management system because it literally tells you right here. And here is its location, right? In its program files, and this is where it's running. And if I pick any of these other ones, it will have similar identification. You can see that this one here, the SMS_executive, it's inside the folder where it says Microsoft Configuration Manager, which is even more descriptive. It's just a different location, but it's a service of the SCCM. Okay, so they're running. This is how you check. I apologize if that was a little bit long-winded, but this is how you would check for that, right? So what is the other question? Check the service event logs for any error messages related to SCCM, and you can do that through here. Here is the console, and here are some notifications right here. It will tell you right now here if there are any issues, right? This is the management notification that just pops up as soon as you log in, and it tells you if there are any issues. And you would get errors. They usually pop up like right around here. Sort of be like a, I don't want to say a marquee, but it would be like a pop-up notification here. That's the easiest way to tell where there are some issues. Now, just to really show people what this is about and how you can use this, if I select devices here, you can see all the devices that are managed with SCCM here. You can see client 1, client 2, client 3. Even the name of the server here as well is in there. Here's the domain controller and etc. So if we look at client 1 here, this is literally one of the computers that are part of our network. And if I open up Hyper-V, you can see that it's client 1 right here, and there it is, it's running. Same with all of these ones that are listed here. They all have a client version of SCCM installed. Not this console here, but the client version that runs in the background, which is also called the software center. So let's go to our client here, client 1 that we just looked at. If I type in software center, it's not installed. Well, that's possible. This is the point of this console here, is that from here you can push the client to it. So if I right click it, I can send install client on that computer, select the next. I can specify specific location, install the client from the software from a specified site. That's fine. I'm going to select that. Next. And now it's going to send an installation to client 1. So that way, when it installs the client on client 1, and when it installs the software that's called the client on this computer, then it's going to be able to manage it. Let me see if it's actually installing it right now. Just looking to see if there's anything in the background that's being installed right now. Again, I have videos on SCCM that goes into super detail about this, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but just to give you an idea. Anyway, I wanted to touch on that, and there are other things you can look into, and I highly suggest that you watch my video if you're interested in this type of stuff, including, you know, how to install and create packages to install software. Everything's on my video, so please check it out, because I want to move on with this one because this is a help desk video. And I'm going to say, I'm going to simply say here, please check background services for looking at the log files. By the way, there are more things you can look at, but this was just a quick answer to this. Please check background services on the server itself to make sure they are running. Example of the service name starts with SMS underscore, I think executive, starts with SMS. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. And I'm going to say, please watch my videos on SSM as I have the full class on it. Let's say that. Which means I have like 3 videos on it, something like that. All right. Let's move on and pick a random ticket that we haven't done. Let's do hard drive issue here. Okay, hard drive issue. The user is getting an error message regarding her hard drive. She's working from office. She's using CCB. So this just means that they're using a laptop from this place, which is a college. And there is a laptop. So their user is getting an error message regarding a hard drive. She's working from the office. We don't know. Oh, wait, there is an actual error. Right, okay. Smart disk, smart hard disk error. The smart disk check has detected that an imminent failure. There's sure no data loss. Please back up the content immediately. Run hard disk test. And the diagnosis, and it's NVMe at 313 location, meaning that this is the hardware location for it. This one is simple. This one is basically telling you that your hard drive is failing and that you should basically back up. And I know I'm saying this, well, you just read it on the screen, right? Well, the problem is it's a post error. So it's post on self test. I think that's what that means. Post on, no, wait, power on self test. It's been a while since I've thought about this acronym, right? It's power on self test error, meaning that this disk right here is getting errors as soon as you power on the computer, right? So I would look at the errors. You can look at let's look at the files. Let me go to client. So if you look at the event viewer, if you want proof that your hard drive is dying, go to the event viewer. So right click the start button, go to the event viewer, and then go to Windows Logs, System, select Create Custom View. This is what I usually do to find any errors that stick out. And I select Critical, Error, and Warning. And then I select past 12 hours. If you select anything else that's longer than that, it may take a while for the log files to come up, to load. And I don't have time to wait for that. If this issue happened just now, I could put it, last hour if I wanted to, or last 12 hours. But if to get a better picture, you can go up to like 24 hours or even 7 days. But it may slow down your computer, just so you know. Select OK. And if there are any issues, they will pop up right in here. So you scroll down, and here are some errors. Here, look at this error. See, what is this? This is a bad error, exclamation mark. And Service Control Manager. This is something that happens all the time. You see this all the time. This is, you could say, normal. The Windows Security Service did not shut down properly after receiving free shutdown control. I don't care. That's not a big deal. This one also, the COM one, happens a lot. This is when you basically, computer just loses, you turn it off. Group policy, this is the same, normal. Anyways, all of these are kind of normal, but what you would see is errors that come up like this, errors, and it would say hard drive error. It would specify this is their hard drive error, and it would be a bunch of them. And that tells you right there that there's an issue with hard drive. It would say in the description that it's a hard drive. So there's nothing to worry about. Here is a critical one, kernel power. This is unexpected shutdown. This is what happens when you suddenly computer crashes, right? But if you know that you pulled the plug on the computer and you look at the timestamp, oh yeah, that was me moving the computer, right? So this is normal. But if your computer, if somebody's complaining their computer is constantly crashing, turning off, you would see a bunch of these. And then there will be a power supply issue, right? So let's go back. The most likely problem is that the hard drive, I guess in this case SSD M.2, is going bad. You can look at the event viewer to confirm. Wow, confirm. My fingers are actually cold, so maybe that's why. That's my excuse today for not typing well. And but I would most likely replace the hard drive. Boom. Done. Donezo. All right. Skype issue. Sure. By the way, Tracy, thank you so much. You've submitted so many of these tickets. If you want to submit a ticket to my system, to this ticketing system, let me know. I'll send you a link. So what we have here is, my name is Jamia Harris, located in ESEX campus financial aid office. I cannot log into Skype. It only buffers. It doesn't connect. So this could be, I mean, this is really, we don't have much to go off or or we don't have much to use when it comes to information to troubleshoot this. It just says I cannot log into Skype. It says it only buffers and it doesn't connect. First thing that comes to mind to me is always, I would check to make sure that computer is connected to internet/network, because Skype obviously can work on the internet or on the network, whether, network being their work environment. It could possibly be a login issue, maybe wrong password, and etc. So etc. meaning, I don't know, maybe they got locked out or they got disabled or whatnot. I keep forgetting to close some of these tickets. Yeah, I should probably. That's okay. I'll clean that up later. All right. What is this? I don't even know what this is actually. The user probably would like to download her book. The name of the book is blah blah blah. But okay. So Adobe Reader. Adobe Reader. So this is Adobe Reader. Oh, we have a cool screenshot. Adobe Reader cannot open this book because it's either not supported file type or because the files has been damaged. For example, if we sent an email, blah, blah, blah. So it's Adobe Reader trying to open up this extension. So this extension is, keep in mind, Adobe Reader will have a specific extension. And if that extension is not this, then it won't work. So let's look up what this extension is and whether Adobe Reader is able to read this type of stuff. So it's .acsm. And to be honest, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. So I'm just going to go to Google and Google that. There's nothing wrong with this. Google is a tool, or any other website, any documentation you have is a tool. .acsm file. So ACM files are protected file format that can be read by using free Adobe Digital Edition programs. The acsm file does not contain the text you request, or rather it contains data for Adobe Content Server authorizing access to your requested document. Okay, so it's a protected type of file that it can indeed be opened up by Adobe. I'm just trying to look for more information here, and let's go back to our screenshot, and it says here it's Adobe Reader, or this is Adobe Acrobat Reader actually. It says it cannot open, so maybe in this case we need to try Adobe Digital Edition, right? Digital Edition. So, and looks like there's more information on this, and it says I bought a book, but it was sent as a file and not PDF. Okay. So you need a specific software is what's happening here. My guess is that Adobe Acrobat Reader cannot open this type of file, and you need a specific Adobe. I'm going to say you probably need a specific Adobe software to open .acsm file type. And Adobe Reader, from the looks of it, excuse me, cannot open it. So obviously, if it's allowed to install on your work computer, install Adobe Digital Editions. I'm assuming that's what that is. Yeah, so it's called Adobe Digital Editions, simply. Adobe Digital Editions, indeed. There it is, Adobe Digital Editions. Let me go back here. I don't need to go to Adobe website. It says here in Wikipedia. This is what I was kind of looking for initially. Adobe Digital Edition is an ebook reader software program from Adobe system, and it's used for acquiring, managing, and reading ebooks, digital needs. So this is what it is, right? So you need Adobe Digital Editions to view this. It's most likely the reason. And I'm going to say probably needs install. Hey, I learned something new today. So we learned something together. Dude, it's so exciting to learn new things. It really is. Because, you know, me just talking about things that I already know about is, I don't want to say it's not interesting because I'm recording. I love recording stuff and stuff like that. But is it exciting to me? Not really, because I already know it, but stuff like this, it's exciting because it just makes me happy to learn something new. I love it. I love that. Well, all right, since I've hovered over this, let's see, this is from Sammy. And this is just a comment. It says, I want to learn more about IT. I'm fresh grad IT support. Hey, you're in the right place. My channel is specifically designed to teach people that are new to IT. I'm going to say you are in the right place. My channel, youtube.com, supports new IT people, supports people to new people. Wow, okay, people new to IT support. and you know, people that are not people, I also support them in IT. So, you know, if at some point in the future, like animals start to become intelligent and they want to do IT, you know, that's fine too. I'll support them. Let's say suddenly, I don't know, let's say horses learn how to speak and learn IT. If they want to learn from me too, that's fine. All right, let's try. I'm just looking for something new that I haven't talked about. Let's just do this one here. Mainly because I can't find off of just real quick something. Anyway, how to delete reoccurring Teams meeting. Hi, Couple Man, you are doing a great job. Well, thank you very much. I love your videos. Keep rocking. Will do. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm working in IT support level 1 in one MNC company. And it says here, we do receive tickets like need to delete the reoccurring Teams meeting request, but the meeting organizer was resigned from the office, I'm assuming. In this case, we forwarded a ticket to level 2 team, but I don't know how they were deleting the reoccurring meetings using scripts. Thanks. If you're interested, please let me know. If I don't know the answer, I'll ask further questions regarding Tinker, which I'm working in my office. Thanks in advance. Happy New Year. Well, Happy New Year to you too. So this should be as simple as like you go to your Outlook, and all the Teams meetings should be in your Outlook calendar, and from there, or calendar from Teams too. It should pop up in there too. Anyways, you can. It's in the calendar, right? It's in the calendar, and come on, come on. We're logged in as Adele Vance. By the way, I have new stuff on this as well on the Microsoft 365. And if I go to Outlook, I hope it doesn't ask me to re-authenticate, because otherwise I have to go get my phone and use the two-factor authentication to log into this account. Shouldn't, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. It's slow. I want to say it's a little bit slow because I'm running all of these versions of virtual machines. Yeah, there it is. I got to go get my phone. I'll be right back. All right. I'm coming back. All right. Oh, yeah, it kicked in. So it's a little slow because my network is kind of overwhelmed with all these virtual machines running. All right. Skip setup. By the way, if your company requires you to do this, you can create all of these security things and help somebody configure it. I have videos on this, but yeah, anyways, the point of this is stay on point. Stay on point. I got to keep telling myself this. All right, so there is a calendar, and if there is a meeting in here, let's say new event, and let's just say team meeting. I'm going to make sure the Teams meeting. Now this is the web version of Outlook and Teams. I'm going to make it weekly on Mondays. So it's made recurring. This is what the problem is, right? So if I go to the next week, that meeting will show up again on the calendar. I just clicked on here. Anyways, here it is. And so it's reoccurring, right? It's reoccurring, and you can invite people, right? You can invite people, and the issue here is invite attendees. You get a bunch of people that are invited to this, right? You know, you can, the entire teams if you want. You can invite a bunch of people in here, entire groups, and they all get this email here. And let's say this person leaves, they resign, right? Or they get fired. Suddenly you got all this reoccurring team meeting, and unless this person deletes it, they may not be able to remove it sometimes. And this is because of just a weird error that happens the way it's just things are set up. So what you have to do is, as the person that is logged in order to fix this error, this issue, you would delete the whole meeting, but you would delete all events in the series instead of just this event. So delete all of it, or reoccurring, depending how you have it set up. All right. So that should take care of it. So this is how you do it, and I'm going to leave it at that. And the answer will be, I'm assuming that level 2 support can log in as the user and access the calendar, from where you can delete the meeting and the entire recurring. Wow, I'm terrible at spelling. Reoccurring meetings. Yeah, let's do that. I'm assuming the level 2 support can log in as the user and access the calendar from there, from where you can delete the meeting and the entire reoccurring meetings. This should remove it from other people's calendars. All right. That is that. So let's try this one here. Upgrading Windows environment. How can I upgrade my current Windows environment? Also, when I change the channel in one room in my apartment, all the TV channels in my apartment change at the same time. How can I fix this? I could swear I've talked about this. Did I talk about this? So this is kind of weird that it has two different things. It says, how do I upgrade, my current Windows environment? Well, you can just, execute the updates on your computer. So if you go to updates, say this is Windows 10, and it says here, this PC doesn't currently meet minimum system requirements to run those Windows 11. So if it's an older computer, it will tell you this, and your computer is not compatible. Otherwise, it'll tell you that it's compatible. Then from here you can simply select update, and that's how you do it. You can also alternatively download the Update Assistant, I think that's what it's called, Update Assistant, from Microsoft, and from there you can install Windows 11 as well. And I really don't need to show you this because all you have to do is just Google it. Update to Windows 11, download from, But when it comes to this other one, this is kind of out of my scope. I also want to change the channel in my room, my apartment. All the TV channels are changed at the same time. How can I fix this? Well, it's probably something to do with the remote. I don't know. Anybody who knows a fix for this, let me know. It's probably the same. Isn't it infrared? The remotes are infrared. So whenever you press a button on the remote, it sends a light signal, and that light signal bounces, or just frequency bounces across the rooms or something, and it switches the other ones. I don't know. It's outside of my scope. Anybody who's done support when it comes to TVs and maybe work for like a cable company or something, please let me know, because I don't know. I don't know 100%. I'm not familiar, so I'm not going to pretend to know. I would say you can upgrade your Windows OS through Windows updates. Or you can upgrade by downloading the Windows Update Assistant. I think that's what it's called. Not sure about the not sure about the TV remote. Probably bouncing the signal around, which is causing the channel change. Maybe they're all using the same cable box. They use the same brand and stuff like that. I don't know. Don't know enough. Okie dokie. Hector Lima asking about ITIL methodology. That's something that would be like a completely different video. It's a lot to talk about, but yeah, it's doable. We'll see. I'll add it to my list of things to do. We'll see. Maybe on my second channel. And let's see, printing forms. Sure, let's try this one. There it is. Okay, here we go. I'm just trying to print form from SharePoint. System doesn't let me print Excel from the. This is basically just the name of the SharePoint website that they've created. I would just make sure that the printer is installed and visible. Sometimes people assume that printing is basically also the same thing as creating a PDF file, which that might be the case. You can certainly try that. Let me see if I can go to SharePoint. Here are the websites that you have access to. And you can see here that you can create a site, create a new news post, if not. But this is basically SharePoint. So let's go to this one here just to see what's going on. Here, basically, you'd see what's going on when it comes to posts that are posted on here, but also conversations. And this is the same thing that comes from your Teams. And right now, it's just loading Teams over here. But if you select documents, you can see all the documents that are shared. Here are some documents in here. If I go in here, it says Digital Assets Web. You know, here's some stuff that's in here. So let's try this one here. This is just a random fake document that was created. And we're going to try to print it from the SharePoint. Obviously, you need to have printer installed on your computer for this to work. So when I go to print, it may or may not let me print. We'll see. Now I know it's a form, but here it is. If you want to just save something as a PDF, then you have to change the destination to that. Mine just defaults to that because I don't have a printer installed on this computer. Right? Otherwise, I would just select the printer I want, or you can save it as PDF, or you may have some other options. So if there is no printer installed, of course it's not going to work. So these are some steps we have to take. And for those reasons, I would make sure that there is a printer installed and mapped on the computer. Also, the issue could be related to wanting to save as PDF. This is something you would have to check. PC repair. Hey, this might be hardware? Maybe? Let's see. PC repair. The user is reporting that when she turns on the PC, it says restarts, and then a blue screen came on. It says recovery. Your PC device needs to be. This is typical hard drive issue going on. Usually, and it's most of the time it's the hard drive issue. So I'm just going to say the most common cause of this is the hard drive going bad. Test and replace. If you are help desk tier 1, you might want to forward this ticket to the on-site person or whoever has ability to update and fix hardware. Word issues, sure. Ooh, this one has a nice screenshot. Word issues. The user is unable to edit his Word document. Screenshot attached. Ooh. Let's look at that. View only. Your account doesn't allow editing on Mac. To learn, contact your... Okay, so this is a perfect example of somebody not having the correct Office 365 license or Microsoft 365 license. This is what happens when you install software on a computer. So this is coming from the software. This is not the web version of Office. This is a locally installed Office 365 on the computer. Oh wow, they changed the naming schemes. Okay, that's fine. What we're looking for here is, here's the basic one, Microsoft 365 Business Basic, right? This is formerly known as F3, unless this is something weird else. But you can tell what you get. And here it is, Secure Cloud Services. That means it's web only. And it says web and mobile apps only, and it's Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. However, if you go to the next one, which is Microsoft 365 Business Standard, if you scroll down, you can see that there's desktop, web and mobile apps, and secure cloud services. That means that you use the desktop version of Word, Excel, etc. However, if you have this other license, you would get that view only error. This error happens when user has the web only license for Microsoft 365 Microsoft 365. They would need to upgrade the license in order to fix this issue. Otherwise, use the web version of Microsoft. Microsoft 365. All right. Resolve. All right, I think I'm going to leave it at that. And please let me know if you like this type of content. Please support me if you can. Simply by watching this video as long as you can. Well, I guess towards the end of the video. If you are here right now watching all the way, I really appreciate you. I really do. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. If you can, I guess, share with friends, maybe? That would help, I guess. I really hate to ask people to do this, but it is what it is. Take care. Bye-bye. Please take a moment to say hi, hello, or present. It's sort of like a roll call in the class. That way I know you're present and you're interested in this type of content in the comments below. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the video.